right, Gregory, coach can give us an opening
Yeah.
statement, and we'll take questions.
We beat very, very good team today. Obviously, watching them on film and looking at the schedule that they've played, I thought we were going to have to play one of our better games of the year, if not our best. I don't think we did, but we did compete really hard. Unbelievable energy on the glass. Really good defensive effort to hold them to 39 from the field, 22 from the three. 48 to 30 on the glass, 18 offensive rebounds. It's hard to find a team that plays that hard on the glass, but we got one right now. So very, very pleased with our response to the long layoff. I thought some of the rust, some of the slippage might have been due to that a little bit. And then a tremendous response after they came out and start the second half and tied it, for our guys to respond that way on the defensive end, and really good offensive execution. We got good basketball from a lot of different guys. We said we were gonna need a total team effort. Obviously, I thought Q was tremendous the entire game to do what he did offensively with the challenge that he has every possession on defense. Just a tremendous job. I thought Xavier Castaneda, both in the first half, the second half, he'll get highlighted because he made some shots, but I thought he was just as good in the first half running the team and defensively. Obviously, Lex was, off the charts. We got a lot of good basketball from a lot of guys, and we got a couple guys that you can see it, are right on the verge of maybe even taking another step for us. So I like where we're at right now. They get tonight off, and we got to get back to work tomorrow morning.
We've talked about mile markers of progress indicators. This is a team that embarrassed you last year, and you come out, and, you win.
Yeah.
Pretty convincingly.
Win. If we won by 1 point, I'd be the happiest man in the world. It was. It was as a coach. I don't like to dwell on the past, but it was embarrassing. We didn't compete, we didn't play. Got guys didn't want to go in the game. You know what I mean? It just was one of those deals. But to give that team credit, last year they kept fighting, and we were playing our best basketball at the end of the year. Now, when we played that game, David was hurt, didn't play in that game. It's a good. We take everything for right now, and we knew this team was good. This team's going to win a lot of games. That record, don't let that record fool you. They've played a tough non-conference all the way from home too. So we had to play well, and we did. And the great neutralizer for us is always the rebounding and getting to the free throw line and our defensive field goal percentage. And we hit the mark on all three of those today.
You've stressed about your guards getting to the rim, and Quincy today, that was textbook, right?
Yeah, he went downhill. We got big, strong guards. Now, X will get there. He's not as big and strong as those other guys. But going downhill and then making good decisions off that, and David was not on top of his game today, but made some important plays for us as well. And then Quincy obviously, and our thing is at times we've in the past we've struggled to finish those plays. We're finishing those plays, or we're getting fouled on those plays now, which is good, and I think that's going to bode well for the future.
Coach, when you drew up a defensive game plan for App, they were shooting 39% from three. Talk about, obviously that was a big part of it.
Right. So two things that we had to do. Forrest and Shabazz could not get any easy threes. We gave up one to start the game, and then one about 4 minutes into the game to Forrest. Those were the only 2 threes that they hit. They were on 2 missed coverages, which happens. But we wanted to push into them, and we wanted to challenge them, and they were going to have to beat us on the dribble. And we had to get great help off the ball, and I thought we did that. Another big thing is we didn't give their secondary shooters that have been shooting the ball well, 14 Holly, 22 Gilfison, and then number 20 Delph. Those 3 guys are kind of their secondary guys, but they make a big difference, and we didn't give them anything, and that was important. Our ball pressure can take some teams out of some stuff, and I thought it did today. They reverted to a lot of more just having to go one-on-one. Only 9 assists for them on the game. So I thought our game plan worked, and you can have the greatest game plan, but the guys got to go out there and have the toughness and discipline to, see it through, and our guys did today.
Coach, I thought your point guards did a really good job today of controlling the tempo. Could you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think being able to count on both those guys is big, and we pushed it, and we didn't finish enough plays in the open court. We got to finish a couple more of those plays, but we want to play at that a little faster pace, 76 points. That's right around what we're averaging right now, which is the highest of any team I've ever coached, to be honest with you. And getting some easy baskets off some turnovers was big as well. But those two point guards played really very well for us today. They were in complete control in terms of when to push, when to hold out. Really good off the half court in the ball screen action, feeding guys, finding guys, or getting shots. Really good decision making by both those guys today.
Coach, Alexis, 13 and 18, he seems to be getting more confident doesn't he, with every night.
Yeah, I wish he would have made a couple more of those layups around the basket. And he'll get better at that. Like I said, a freshman. It's just his energy level. He just never stops. I said last year when he was sitting out, he's a great rebounder. And as I mentioned on the radio show, very rarely does what you say about a kid during the redshirt year always come true, but he's carried it over. He's 7 offensive rebounds. That's just energy and effort and toughness and, just saying I'm gonna go get it, and that's what he does. The other thing that's happening, we're better offensively. So because of that, he does know where we're getting our shots from offensively. So he puts himself in position, and he knows, okay, Q's taking this type of shot, TJ's taking this, and so he's in better position to rebound if there is a miss. So, plus, the other thing is, our other bigs, Michael played good. I think Toon is a sliver away from kind of breaking through. Mayan gave us good minutes as well. So sometimes those guys are going, and Lex is the beneficiary of that. As they go to cut him out, then he's able to slip in there. You got to have everybody going, because if we didn't, then they could just really pinpoint Lex. But because we got our 3, 4, and 5 going hard, he's got a great knack for the ball. You can't teach some of the stuff that he comes up with. I'd like to take credit for it, but you can't.
Coach, I asked the players what you said to them after App State tied it at 40, and Lex said you told him it was time to respond. Could you expand on that?
Yeah, we talked about this, regarding the layoff that we had. You can't, sometimes you control the events that put you in the situation, sometimes you don't control the events. But the one thing you do is you do control your response to those. And we needed to respond. We needed to respond at that time with better defense, because we hadn't got to stop yet to start the half. We needed to respond with better offense and not settling for the first shot, especially if it's not within the offense. And then we just needed to play a little tougher right there. You know what I mean? I didn't think we had the same juice that we ended the half with. And sometimes that happens. You know what I mean? It's a game of ebbs and flows, but we needed to respond. And to our guys' credit, we did. And I don't know what we rattled off, but I think we scored 6 or 7 straight points after that, and we got 3 or 4 straight stops. So, sometimes you got to put the onus on the players. It wasn't anything we did different that got us the lead that evaporated the lead. Now it's, the players had to go out there and make some things happen, and to their credit, they did.
Anything else?
All good? All right, guys, thanks.